of the video. We'll continue to talk about it now. What is it specifically that we're hearing? It's a 1-year prove it deal. We've heard the Lakers, Clippers. The Clippers have fallen out because they've spent their money, but we've also heard the Lakers and the Heat as two teams. So they want to do a sign and trade. However, DeMar DeRozan is realizing there's no money out there and that he's saying he's not going to take the mid-level exception, which is like $12.9 million, that he's only going to take less money if it's a 1-year deal so he can go back into free agency next year. Now, what does that mean? Where does he go? It also, you have to understand, DeMar DeRozan going to a specific team. What if the Kings are the dark horse? Because he's a Cali guy and he's just like, crap, I'll just go there. Or like the Golden State Warriors. But that's not happening. I was just joking around. He is a guy that I think he wants to make his money, but he also probably wants to be put in a situation. He has to be in a situation where he can play his style of basketball. He doesn't fit every team because of his ISO-centric. So for me, he should have taken that 2-year, $80 million deal if he got it. But look, the 1-year deal works out if it goes well. So with DeMar DeRozan leaving the Bulls and teams deciding to spend their cap space on other players, DeMar DeRozan may be taking a 1-year deal at a lower contract figure than anticipated in order to become a free agent next year when far more teams are projected to have cap space. If DeRozan chooses to do a sign and trade, he has to sign a 3-year deal and is unable to recoup his value, as he'll definitely go down by 3 years' time. So Adrian Wojnarowski says, well, I think there's an interest in DeMar DeRozan, but that's kind of the contract that he might want just is not going to be available. It's not left out there in the marketplace. The Bulls are more than willing to work on a sign and trade agreement to get him the years and money that he might want, but with the new salary cap rules those are much more difficult for teams to do. The Lakers have interest. How do they acquire DeMar DeRozan? That becomes a much different scenario. LeBron James has talked about willingness to take significantly less money to open up their mid-level exception. I think DeMar DeRozan's case, it may not be as appealing to him, but it may look like a 1-year deal somewhere. Let the market reset next year, because if you do a sign and trade, it's going to be at least 3 years, and now you're locked into a 3-year deal at the number you may not like. The Lakers are interested, but the mechanisms that will allow them to create a slot to acquire him, that's going to be a harder part, and it's tough when you give out big money, and there's not always money left for a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who was an all-star recently, but we'll see what happens, end quote, Adrian Wojnarowski said. And at the end of the season, we heard, again, as I mentioned earlier, DeMar DeRozan had that 2-year, $80 million deal, and he turned it down for a longer deal. And similarly, when he challenged free agency in 2021, he had a challenging free agency, and he signed a 3-year, $85 million deal that he has outperformed. And the Clippers and Lakers were options then. So it's just interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you guys do? I'm very curious to hear your opinions on this whole situation.